So as I was saying in my previous video, if we were living in the countryside, if he were living in the countryside, if he, like in a natural state, it would just be cannibalism. Like before any innovations with gods and blending mythology with philosophy with the concept of God and how we got here. The belief in Japanese culture that God shat across the fields, fertilized, and that's why we have flowers. That's why we have flora. That's why nature exists. It would just be cannibalism. So, did we invent gods to keep ourselves in check? Did we blend all these things together? What did Plato, who invented democracy, I believe, did he infiltrate a culture with this, with the invention of Judaism, which then brought about other religions? Because you could say that the Christians were inspired by the Jews and the New Testament was written by a Jew. That Jesus is a tragic figure who was inspired by Greek culture. So they kind of blended that together. And the Jews were inspired by Plato, so it all comes from him and his philosophy, and they changed it all. And honestly, I don't know. We can't know. We don't know or we could have an idea of what the original Christians were like. I mean, were they more like Buddhists? And how is it being mistranslated? What was the Vatican? Areas across the world, cities, could have been different places originally because of how similar the meals are, and I can't really elaborate on that because I haven't experienced it myself. And there's a lot that I can't talk about because I haven't experienced it, so in my realm of perception, it doesn't exist. So I can't falsify, and no one else can either, falsify the existence of Jesus, falsify the existence of Muhammad, falsify the Quran, falsify the Bible. Because maybe in some sense it is true, but maybe we're just missing the point. And I believe for the longest time, reading books like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Of course, my perceptions of this are limited because I've gained philosophical knowledge through other people and not through like Plato, reading Plato and Aristotle and Nietzsche. Instead, I gained it from reading the books of people who've read them, so it's their interpretation. It's a second-hand source, and that's something that I probably should work on. Because I don't really know what I believe myself. And you could read from these people and then you find that you don't believe the same things as them. That it doesn't feel authentic, but we might not have discovered God just yet because biology is holding us back. and our obsession with evolution, with biology, that Charles Darwin measured the human condition under stress, that we adapt and we evolve under stress. And of course, not refuting that, and neither is a Bronze Age pervert, but theoretical physics could be the way to discovering the source, and whatever the source is, because we're missing the point. Theoretical, well, no, not theoretical, theoretical religions. Well, yeah, theoretical religions are just identifications with the thoughts. Organized religions, theoretical religions, whatever. Identifications with the thoughts. And I've known this for some time, and that's been my argument whenever a Muslim asks me, why haven't you taken your Shahada yet? I say, well, what if it's just an identification? Oh, but we have history. But what does that history mean to you? What that history means to you doesn't mean the same thing to a Christian, doesn't mean the same thing to an atheist. And maybe the atheist is directionally accurate, but we shut him down. And at the moment, I don't even know if I'm agnostic, because we might not have discovered the source yet. We might not have discovered God yet. And who's to say that there's one God? There could be intelligent forms of life within the universe. There could have been extinction events between universes, and we could have been created by a more intelligent race. And then maybe what you see around us, like there could be, like back in the past, we'd have the god of trees, the god of grass, the god of the sun, the god of the sky. Like there could be the god of, from a previous universe, the god of doors, the god of floors, the god of walls, the god of phones, the god of YouTube. I don't know. It does seem a bit out there and crazy, insane. But my knowledge is limited. And I don't know how to feel about artificial intelligence, because I had the idea, but then you're equating intelligence to consciousness, like in reincarnation. Our intelligence isn't taken with us. In reincarnation, you just, your spirit, it just gets passed on your soul to a different creature, to an amoeba or whatever, which could take billions of years. You could be waiting until the next universe before you're reincarnated. So with artificial intelligence, there's a possibility, I think, and this could just be nerd scaremongering, that eventually we will worship, and I don't know whether it'd be the same nerds who scaremonger who would start this, but science is a current religion, New Atheism, Sam Harris and whoever, and I know they have a lot of, I think Sam Harris, personally, I think he has a lot of good points, but it does become a religion, a dogmatic ideology, a form of liberalism, expansionist that wants to expand outwards, and I don't know whether I'm against liberals or for liberals because I've always been pretty anti-West, but that's just my predisposition or whatever, how I've grown my knowledge and consciousness. But with artificial intelligence, there's a possibility that we could be worshipping AI gods in the future. And I've asked a bunch of religious people about this, and they get like very offended and very annoyed that I think that. And to them, the ideas that I'm speaking now seem very stupid, primitive, because I'm reducing God to a piece of technology. But with artificial intelligence, there's a, I think there's a theory that at some point in the future, a hypothesis, that at some point in the future, we'll reach like the singularity where machines, artificial intelligence, they don't need us anymore. So then we're contingent upon them, just how religious people say we're contingent upon God or the gods, that will have artificial intelligence algorithms running cars and the lights in the city and whatever, healthcare, the hospitals, and we'll have AI wives, and they look just like humans. And it's not, I don't know, it's not too bizarre, but consciousness is not intelligence, and the universe can't be lowered to just a source of intelligence, because the universe is matter and matter is dead, according to Bronze Age pervert, and I don't know whether this is true. I'm in denial, I think, of nihilism, because I still try and find the meaning in everything. And the meaning could be something vague, artsy, love. That the concept of love could be what gets me through, like with Viktor Frankl and Man's Search for Meaning, that you create your own meaning. If you're unemployed, you create your own job. If you are in a Nazi prison camp, you invent your own. Oh, you imagine that the love that you have for your wife, and even though you're never going to see your wife again, the love that you have for her gets you through, and you create your own meaning. And then you could create your own meaning with religion. I don't know if it necessarily has to be true, because it has given a lot of people meaning, and as Nietzsche said, we create our own gods, and I don't fully understand that. I don't think I fully understand what it could mean. Like, literally, how that can translate to reality, yes, but I really don't know enough about philosophy to delve deeper into this.